2, 1, 0, Roger.
Hello, you join us from Swindon. We are at a car dealership here. Of course, Swindon is a big place for car manufacturing. Not only are BMW, Mini and Honda produced here, but of course, and like I say, we are here at this manufacturer today because there's been news that car prices could go up by around 2 to 3% over the next few months or so. And that's all because of the falling value of sterling. Now, if we go inside, we can speak to the owner of this company at the moment. He has said that he does believe that that will happen in the coming months, and he has had some customers who have expressed their concerns. Now, like you can see, there are all sorts of cars here. They sell Hyundai, Mitsubishi, a variety of different products. Dominic, we are live on Facebook. Just talk us through, what trends are you noticing here? Do you think that car prices are going to go up?
Well, certainly car prices are going to go up over the coming months. Whether we'll hold out till April, I don't know, but it's obviously all due to the market fluctuations with the currency. £20,000 cars cost us a lot more this year to buy than they did 12 months ago because of the weakness of the sterling. We've seen a 10% depreciation in that, so of course a £20,000 car could cost £2,000 more. Actually, we've got 4 customers in the showroom at the moment buying cars, so you'd actually think that customers probably are thinking prices may be going up shortly, so they're coming in to come and buy.
And are customers worried, having seen this news?
I think a certain sector of the marketplace is. 80% of cars are bought on finance packages now, so most customers buy a monthly payment. So if the monthly payments don't change, they don't care if the car goes up by £2,000-3,000, as long as the monthly payment remains the same. But there are a particular sector, like 20% of the marketplace, who do actually buy their cars outright, and that will have a significant effect on them.
So when is the best time, would you say, to buy a car?
Well, today, but we're also going to see in April...
You would say that, wouldn't you?
Yes. In April, we're going to see the road fund licences going up. So that all changes. So at the moment, it's based on the emissions. But come April time, everybody will be paying a flat fee of £140 for any car registered after that. So if you want to get a cheap tax disc, you need to get the car before 31st of March.
OK, if you are just joining us on Facebook, please do post comments. I've got many coming in. Of course, we're talking about the fact that car prices could go up because of the fall in the value of the pound. Someone asking at the moment, will it mean more people turn to the second-hand car market? Well, Dominic, what do you think about that?
I think the second-hand market has been very buoyant, but we have to sell cars. We have to sell new cars. So we've got lots of incentives in place. PCPs have been the big one for a number of years. The likes of Hyundai, they've had pop-up stores. Tomorrow, Hyundai are announcing they've got click to buy, so you can buy a car completely online, including finance and part exchange. So there'll be loads of sort of deals around because the manufacturers are still making the cars. The factories are still pumping them out, and these cars have to be sold. They can't just be left in fields. And
he's saying at the moment, have prices already gone up since Brexit?
Yes, some of our manufacturers, not actually our manufacturers, but some of my competitors have gone up. But I think all the manufacturers are under pressure now to put the prices up.
Great. Well, if you can walk and talk with us. Of course, this isn't just the only worry. There have been concerns that if you're buying a car from abroad that has to be imported, then there could be tariffs on that of up to £1,500. So that's another concern. But of course, some might say perhaps it's a good thing because people will buy British. What is your view on that, Dominic, if I can just ask you now?
I think a lot of customers are actually very loyal. So we've got a particular, like our marketplace, a lot of customers will just keep coming back and they're buying a Pebley Beach Hyundai or Pebley Beach Suzuki. So that works for us. Whether customers will go back to buying British, I doubt it, because actually a lot of the cars, even in Swindon, like the Honda factory and bits and pieces, a significant amount of those parts are actually come from Europe. So actually they're all coming from Europe anyway. So you don't actually get a completely British-made car nowadays.
And if we head over here, because you've got some customers, I think, do you think we can go and ask them what they think? Because they're in the process, aren't they, of buying a car at the moment. So, Lorraine, we are live on Facebook. I was having a quick chat with you earlier. Hello. What do you make of the fact, because, you're buying a car today, what do you make of the fact that they could go up in price?
Because of Brexit.
Because of Brexit.
Right. Well, I believe there's a lot of scaremongering, number one, and if they do go up, I actually feel, well, that's part of having our sovereignty, part and parcel of what's going to happen, so I don't mind paying a bit more.
So you'd be happy to pay, about £400 extra on the average car, I think it is?
Yeah, I don't think that's a lot to pay for the price of our sovereignty.
And your daughter here, do you feel the same? Or?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a Motability customer, and I think with regard to Brexit and price increase, as long as it doesn't affect, the monthly payments, it wouldn't concern me. So, yeah.
What have you decided to go for then?
I'm looking at the Vitara at the moment, the Suzuki Vitara, yeah.
Very nice. Well, I hope it all goes well. Thanks for speaking to us. Tommy, we'll come back to you because we've got some questions coming in here. Louise Peake saying, do you think if we voted against Brexit, we would have the same price increases?
It's all to do with the currency market, so it depends on how the currency fluctuations happened. We've seen a depreciation of almost just over 10% in the last 12 months, so that's the significant factor. If Brexit hadn't have happened and the currency markets were still like sort of €1.30, no, the prices wouldn't have gone up.
And so your message to customers then, looking to buy at the moment?
Is buy now, because the prices will start to increase over the coming months, particularly, definitely sort of going into next quarter. You're going to see some, not massive price hikes, but possibly 2 to 3%.
Okay. If you are just joining us, we are talking about this news from the Society of Motor Manufacturers and Traders that prices could go up by around 2 to 3% over the coming months. That's this quarter. And that means if you've got a general car like a Ford Focus, which costs around £13,500, you would see an increase of around £400. So it's pretty significant. I'm here in Swindon at this car dealership. Dominic owns it. He's been asking some questions. If you've got any, please do post them in the comments box below and we will try and get answers for you. The message is, though, from Dominic himself, he's saying it's best to buy now in case they go up further. Will cars be built in Britain remain cheaper than their competitors? What do you think?
No, I mean, most manufacturers nowadays, they're worldwide. So Honda, for example, in Swindon, they're a Japanese company. So actually, but they manufacture here, Nissan in Sunderland and bits and pieces. So these are worldwide companies. So actually, we're exporting a significant amount of the cars made in Swindon and obviously in Sunderland. And a lot of the parts to make those cars are actually coming into the UK from Europe. So I don't think there'd be much difference at all.
Right, let's walk and talk, because I think you've got some more customers in the corner. But there is this concern, isn't there, of course, about tariffs being put on cars. So if you're getting a car from abroad, it will cost more. But surely that's good because people might buy British.
I think it all depends on the trade agreements. If we're one of the biggest marketplaces in Europe, so the likes of Germany, the prestige brands, they're not going to want to see all these tariffs going on because it's just going to kill their marketplace in the UK. So I guess it's down to the negotiating powers of the guys with the trade agreements. And hopefully I think that's going to have to happen fairly quickly. They weren't allowed to sort of drag on for a couple of years like they're talking about. Right,
we've got some more customers here. David, if we can have a quick chat with you. We are live on Sky News Facebook. So what are you looking at doing today?
Well, hopefully buying a new car, yeah.
What have you got your eye on?
The Suzuki SX4 S-Cross SZT.
And what do you make of the fact that there's this news that car prices could go up?
Well, I'm not very... That's what I'm going to buy now before they go up. I'm not very happy about that.
Is that literally why you're buying now?
One of the reasons, yeah, because they're saying everything's going to go up in April, so why pay extra when I can pay now?
And it's all down to the falling value of the sterling, which is a result of Brexit. So would you be happy to pay more in order for us to be out of the European Union?
Well, I was in favour of leaving the European Union. I voted to leave. I think they're using it as an excuse to put everything up. I don't think there's a necessity for it. I think the government and all manufacturers have jumped on a bandwagon. We're getting out of Brexit. Let's put everything up.
Okay, so you're getting in there today. I hope it all goes well. Thank you
very much. Thank you.
So we've got some more questions coming in here, Dominic. Matthew Bean Bennett said, are you afraid not as many people will buy if prices go up?
Yes, of course. I mean, if we see a slump in the marketplace, and it's predicted to be 5%, that's worrying. But actually, as a company, we kind of gear ourselves up for these. I'm not saying we're recession-proof, but we've all been through the recession. We've been a long-standing company, so actually we kind of budget for these slumps slightly. We don't know what's going to happen in 12 months' time. This next is kind of going to an abyss at the moment, so we're just dealing with this quarter and kind of almost worrying about next quarter when it happens.
Can I ask a personal question? Did you want to remain or leave?
I wanted to leave with my heart, but my pocket wanted to stay in. That's the problem. I just, in two minds about it. From a business point of view, I want to remain, but actually from a sovereignty point of view, yes, it's great to be independent.
And here, business-wise, since Brexit, have you seen any impact? Are you still doing well?
Not really. Not for us. I think it's take a while for that to kind of flesh through the system. A significant amount of our customers are sort of kind of 45 and older, so I should imagine that most of them will want to leave actually, as opposed to remain. And then, like the young lady saw earlier on, I imagine she would want to remain, but actually it's all about the monthly payments. I said earlier on, if the car prices, the monthly payments stay the same, the customers don't mind. It's when actually the capital value, if they're going to buy a car outright, if the car was going to cost them 20,000, it's now going to cost them 21,000. That's when it's going to hurt. And generally, that's going to be the older people who've got savings in the bank. They're going to have to put their hand in the pocket for the cars.
And you say most people are doing these monthly payments?
Yeah, about 80% nowadays are doing that.
So that's quite high. Becca Green saying, if costs rise, would it be cheaper to import a new car?
If costs rise, as I said earlier on, all the manufacturers, they're global players. The UK is one of the biggest marketplaces in Europe, so actually they'll keep sending the cars to us, and it's upstream, downstream as we call it in the industry. So that actually the manufacturing plant, if they're pumping out these cars and they're sort of kind of 65 or 75% efficient, they're kind of a break-even point. Once they go over that, they start making profits. And actually, if we need more support, what used to happen years ago was they used to give us some more marketing support to be able to shift those cars. The problem is we've been absorbing these currency fluctuations for quite a long time, and now we're kind of getting to the stage where we can't absorb it anymore. And it's not us, because we're a dealer. We actually just buy it from our manufacturer, but the manufacturers are having to put the prices up because there's just no spare room, no capacity at the moment for any profit.
Okay, well, thank you so much for all your expertise. Appreciate it. You have been watching this Facebook Live. We are live here at this car dealership in Swindon. Of course, that message coming out today that car prices could go up by around 2 to 3%. More cars were produced and manufactured in 2016 than the year before. And of course, there has been a steady increase over the last 5 years. But there is a worry that in 2017, not so many will be produced. There is more on this subject over on Sky News on television. Do tune in if you want more answers there. Thank you very much for joining us and, of course, for all your questions.